Hello, friends. Welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the King James Version of the Bible, and we're in book 3, Psalms book 3, but we are in Psalm 78. 78 is 72 verses. It's a maskil of Asaph. In this video, though, we're going to do verses 1 through 31. So yeah, it's like reading a chapter. So let's jump in. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, shewing the generations to come that the praises of the Lord and his strength and his wonderful works that he hath done. Oral history of repeating. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he had commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children. Commanded to read them out loud in their entirety a certain number of times a year, where everyone is commanded to stop and listen. Can you imagine if we had that where once a year our local government needed to gather every single person in every one of our towns to read us our entire United States Constitution 3 or 4 times a year? Because that's literally what they did, since the people couldn't read. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make known to their children, that the generations to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in God and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers. Because we're not supposed to be repeating the mistakes of the previous generations. We're not supposed to be as hard-hearted as the people in history who felt they had a right to abuse another. So we will not be as our fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation. And you're like, I don't want to hear it. 1950s archaeology set out to disprove the word of God. Like, just flat out did it. So yes, we too have this problem. A generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with God. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of God, and refused to walk in his law, and forgate his works and his wonders that he shewed them. And you can be like, no, Ephraim. Jeroboam said no to the son of Solomon, Rehoboam, and in that process went and rebelled and did not keep worshiping God there. They put up the golden calf and sacrificed to it the entire time in every generation after that. Literally. In their split. So even though Rehoboam was not a nice man, this is not a stunning example of a good person, he still wasn't sacrificing to a bull. So, marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers in the lands of Egypt, in the fields of Zoan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand as a heap. In the daytime, so a tsunami could have that effect. I just need you to understand that. Tsunamis are underground earthquakes, and they can create this effect. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand as a heap. In the daytime, He also led them with a cloud, and at night with a light of fire. He clave the rocks in the wilderness and gave them drink out of the depths. He brought streams also out of the rock and caused the water to run down like rivers. This would be when Moses lost his shot at ever living in Jerusalem because he claimed this work himself. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempted God in their heart by asking for meat for their lust. And they did eat it, but then they died. Everyone who ate the meat died. Yea, they spake against God. They said, can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock. The waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. He can give bread also. And can he provide flesh for his people? Therefore the Lord heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and his anger came up against Israel, because they believed not in God and trusted not in his salvation. Though he had commanded the clouds from above, and opened the doors of heaven, and he had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them corn of heaven. Man did eat angels' food, sent them meat to the full. He caused an east wind to blow in heavens, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camps, round about their habitations. So they did eat, and they were filled, for he gave them their own desire, that they were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was in their mouths, the wrath of God came upon them, and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. You're like, how in the heck? So here, consider this. Did they say that, hey, like, here was a bunch of quail, and then the people ran out there and caught a whole bunch of them, and everybody came running out, and God said, run out there with your weapon and get him. Run out there and catch him. Or did a bunch of dead birds fall to the ground, and the people who really wanted to eat meat not think about it and gather them up and eat them, so then they died? Because they were told specifically not to eat animals that they found dead. God said no roadkill. God said roadkill will make you sick. So no roadkill. Roadkill will make you sick. I hope you join me tomorrow, friends, when we'll be doing a little bit more of this history review. Until then.